Hi guys and welcome back to Spicy London Kitchen. On this episode I will show you how to make the Bengali traditional version of Shemay. Let's begin. So for this recipe you will need some cinnamon sticks, bay leaves, you need some pistachios for garnishing, you also need some sugar, double cream, whole milk, desi ghee, and of course vermicelli. Let's begin. Here, just to save the mess and time, I'm just going to break it into pieces by leaving it in the packet. It just saves a whole lot of mess and prevents things from flying everywhere. Just like break it into pieces, and then in a preheated pan, just open the vermicelli up and then just pour it in. And I'm just going to toast it for a bit, just to make sure it becomes light and golden. That's what we're going for, a nice golden look when you're toasting in the pan. If the pieces seem to be a little big, just gently break it into pieces with a spoon or even with your hands. Just gently break it into pieces. Here I found that my pieces were a tiny little big, so I just broke it a bit more with my hands. And spatula, of course. I'm just putting the gas down a little bit. I've toasted my vermicelli just lightly to slightly golden brown, and now I'm adding the desi ghee, and I'll just toss it in. Just toss the vermicelli in the ghee. Just do it quite gently, like so. Yeah, just take your time as you do this. You do not want to burn your vermicelli. I mean, you do get the odd dark pieces, but that's okay. Here, in a separate pan, I'm going to boil my milk. I'm just adding in a little bit more milk and just let it boil for a bit until it looks something like this. In the meantime, I'm going to making some puris, some crispy puris. So I have some flour here, and I'm adding in some oil, and I'm going to gently mix it in, just knead it in. Here you can see I'm just mixing in the oil. I'm going to try to knead it in. As you go along, you just want to add in water a little by little. You don't want to add it in one go. Just mix it in until you get a firm dough. Not too firm, just about. And your dough should look something like this. I'm going to leave that aside and go back to the vermicelli. And now I'm going to add it into a separate pan. And after that, I will add in my milk, which has been boiling on the side. And prior to that, of course, I'm going to add in some sugar, some bay leaves, and then some cinnamon sticks. Just gently mix it all in. You can add in sugar according to taste. I like a bit of sweetness in my dish. Here, just for safety's sake, I've used a spatula to add in my milk. Of course, if you're very brave, then just be very careful and just pour it in from the pan. Just add it in gently and then give it a gentle stir until it becomes a little thick. Here you can see it's still a bit runny. But just keep stirring. Here I've already rolled up my puris and I'm gonna add it into a hot boiling pan of oil. You see, that's what you need to get. Sizzling puris. Just add it in one by one gently and you should get some kind of rise there in the puris to make sure it's nice, soft and crispy puris. Your puris don't have to be a perfect shape, you know. I mean, come on, we're making traditional shemai. We just want the flavor. As long as the flavor's there, we're all good. Nobody's perfect. You just want the flavor, don't you? So I'm just taking out the puris and pouring aside to drain all the oil out. And again, I'm just doing the same thing. Once it's done, I'll just take the puris out, drain the oil, and place it on a plate. Here, my puris are ready to be plated up. And then on the side, your shama is ready to be served. So I'm just going to plate it up now and serve it with some nice hot crispy puris. Doesn't that look amazing, guys? Not too runny, not too thick, just perfect. And just to garnish it, to top it off with, I'm just using some pistachios that I crushed. And there you have it, guys. A wonderful, traditional, mouth-watering shamai served with hot, crispy puris.